So today I'm going to be cooking a dinner party. Now, if you're anything like me, the idea of hosting brings me out in a cold sweat, but this is my ultimate cook ahead dinner party. I'm going to show you how to make a really easy slow roast lamb that you do all the prep before your guests arrive. I'm going to serve it with a red currant jelly, super easy to make, and some delicious petit pois à la francais, I think they're called. I'll show you how to do that later. First, I'm going to get on with the meat. You need to start this maybe about 3.5 hours before your guests arrive. I've got half a leg of lamb. I'm going to season it, stick some olive oil in here. I'm going to sear the meat. This is the most complicated it gets, I promise you. Let's wait for that to heat up. What I love about lamb, obviously it's delicious if you have it rare, but it's a very forgiving meat. You can overcook it so it's lovely and delicious and falls apart on your plate. So the good thing about this is if your friends turn up at half an hour late or if they're early, it doesn't matter. It's a very, very forgiving piece of meat. So come with me. We're just going to sear this on all sides here. There. This is enough for about 4 big eaters. But the great thing about lamb is the leftovers are really good. So what I do, in fact in my freezer at the moment, I've got 3 kind of hunks of lamb left over from when I've done this dish. When I've got enough, I'll defrost them all, chop them up into tiny pieces and make shepherd's pie out of them. So it's a really, really good meal. It feels quite extravagant having a piece of meat like this, but of course you can always use the leftovers up. Just going to take it out and pop it on this plate here. Leave it to one side. Grab my oven gloves, shake the oil around a bit, and then I'm just going to stick in the pan. Where's my knife gone? Ta-da! Using a knife. Now you can, if you're slightly less lazy than me, you can peel your onions, but actually the onions are just going to flavour the meat, so I'm just going to stick them in, skin and all, to the bottom of the roasting dish in hunks. I've got 2 here, they're big ones. If you've got smaller ones, use a few more. There we go. Carrots again, we're going to go in unpeeled. It's all about flavour. Stick them there. Stick a bit more oil in actually. Some rosemary from my garden, a few sprigs, stick that in. Just going to brown this up a little bit. So that in itself smells delicious. I'm going to pop the meat on top. And I'm going to pour the red wine in. You can use any liquid really. You can use lamb stock, I've used chicken stock in the past, or you can use red wine. Actually white wine, oddly, you wouldn't think it, but it does work quite well with lamb as well. So I'm going to stand back because there's going to be a sizzle. And then it goes in the oven for 3 hours, leaving you free to, I don't know, write a book, put your makeup on, lay the table, frantically clean your house before friends arrive. Opening cupboards and shoving all your mess in there. That's what I tend to do. So now we can literally ignore it for 3 hours. See ya. So the lamb is ready. Now I'm going to show you how to make one of my favourite side dishes, petit pois à la francais. All you need is a knob of butter, some olive oil, some flour, some chicken or vegetable stock, some spring onions and some frozen peas. I love this because it's a little bit fancier than boiling peas, but actually it tastes delicious, really easy to make, and you can do everything before your guests arrive. Just heat it up when you're ready to eat. So hob on a medium heat, pop in my knob of butter and my olive oil. Now I just need to put a teaspoon of flour in. There we go. Now I'm going to stir in my stock. I'm using chicken stock. Stir it in gradually, but of course you can use vegetable stock. That's all been added. Now I need to pop in my peas. These are frozen peas. You can use fresh, of course, if you prefer. In they all go. While they cook on a low heat, I'm going to chop up my spring onions. I'm going to add a bit of salt first, actually, get that out of the way. I love spring onions. They're a great addition to this dish. They add different texture, obviously that lovely oniony flavour without being overpowering. You can put lettuce in this as well. Traditionally you might tear up a baby gem or shred a baby gem and put it in, but I actually prefer it without if I'm going to make it in advance. This is such a good accompaniment for lamb. I love it. Peas and lamb, bit of a traditional combination. Some of my spring onions are escaping. They're saying, don't cook me, don't cook me. Let's bring it up to a quick boil and then I'm going to pop the lid on. Takes about 5 minutes to cook, which is the perfect amount of time for me to get on with my red currant sauce. This is super quick and it's a great alternative to gravy. I don't know if you have those kind of heart-stopping moments when you're about to cook gravy. Is it going to be too greasy? Is it going to be too thick? Am I going to make enough? This is the answer to all those worries. All you need, small saucepan, And a jar of redcurrant sauce, redcurrant jelly. You can get this pretty much any supermarket. It's actually a really, really old English recipe, I think. And I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. And that's to cut through the sweetness, give it a bit of acidity. And we just stir it up very simply. Okay. Salt. Pepper. Just going to let that cook away for about 5 minutes. And I'm going to add some chopped mint. And it's ready to go. So peas 3 or 4 more minutes. That's going to cook in the meantime. Then all I need to do is take some jacket potatoes I've got cooking in the oven out. I like to serve this with jacket potatoes. You can serve it with anything you like. You can do roast potatoes, pommes au franoise, really lovely. But I've had a long day and jacket potatoes it is. And I think when you do a dinner party, don't get too caught up in having to impress people, because people, by and large, the food's edible, are just grateful to be cooked for. As long as there's wine, I don't think people care. Ta-da! I'm so glad I came round. I bet she is. Let us know what you like to cook when you have friends over. We'd love to hear. Should we get stuck in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
please.
cheers first.
I'm going to put you down. Sorry, darling. There we go. Food is taking precedence.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To sisters.
Yeah.
And dogs.
And Polly. So today I'm going to do a delicious pear, hazelnut and chocolate crumble. Yes. Because who doesn't love a crumble?
I love crumble.